In case you were wondering, the result of not having anti-discrimination protections for gay people in over 20 states, take a look. Doctor denies treatment to 6-day-old baby after praying about her LGBTQ parents, and it's completely legal. That's something else, isn't it? They're not going to treat a baby because they have a moral objection to gay parents. They say a couple's newborn baby face discrimination because of their sexual orientation. The discrimination is 100% legal. Michigan residents Jami and Krista Contreras took their newborn baby to the doctor, and their daughter was denied care. Quote, "Is our doctor coming in?" She said, "No, I'm going to be your doctor." Your doctor prayed on it and decided she won't see you all today, Krista said in an interview with ABC7. The couple is speaking out in the new Beyond I Do campaign that aims to raise awareness about the issues the LGBTQ community experiences. The couple was surprised to learn that the discrimination is legal and hopes to educate their friends and peers about the law. We spoke to other people, and they would say, well, they can't do that. That's not legal, and we looked into it, and it was legal, Jami said. Even though the couple has faced discrimination in the past because of their LGBTQ lifestyle, they never imagined it would impact their baby girl. It was horrifying and humiliating, and we just kept thinking, God, she's 6 days old and she's already experiencing discrimination, Krista said. So let me put this in perspective for you. If a doctor were to say, listen, I'm not going to treat you because you're black. That's illegal. They're not allowed to say that. You can't discriminate based on race. If the doctor were to say, listen, I'm not going to treat you. You're Muslim. That's not legal either. You can't discriminate based on religion. If they were to say, listen, I'm not going to treat you because you're women. Can't do that either. You can't discriminate based on gender. Sexual orientation is not a protected class in over 20 states. So, Mike Pence did this in Indiana, by the way. This is how he was most known before he became our vice president, is that he was in favor of, he axed anti-discrimination bills that would protect the LGBTQ community. And then a lot of corporations started pulling out of Indiana because he was like, yeah, no, you should legally, if a gay person goes into a diner and the diner doesn't want to serve them, the diner owner shouldn't be forced to go against their conscience, and they should be legally allowed to kick out the gay people simply because they're gay. That's his position. And so a lot of corporations were like, hey, fuck Indiana, we're outskis. So a lot of people don't know that that's the reality. A lot of people don't get that that's still legal in over 20 states. They just kind of default assume that there are protections. Now, some people might say, hey, man, listen, even though it's not cool, legally they should be able to not help those people if they don't want to help those people. There are many problems with that line of thinking. So, first of all, if you're not comfortable with it with gays, if you are comfortable with it with gays, then you should, on principle, be comfortable with it for black people, for different religions. And, I feel like at a certain point, people will start going, okay, yeah, no. Because when you bring up the race example, that really harkens back to something in the recent past in U.S. history, and people go, yeah, that's fucked up. But if they're being consistent in that logic, they'd have to say, no, you should be able to deny somebody who's black simply because they're black, or, a different religion simply because they're a different religion. And, you see the other pragmatic problems with that too. Like, for example, I've given this example on air before. Imagine you're a black family in Mississippi and you're on a road trip and you're driving and your car breaks down. And it's 1950 something and you got to go to the nearest gas station. It's a fucking 100 degrees outside and you got to get gas and you got to fill it up. But you walk 6 miles with your little kid and your wife to the nearest gas station and they say, we don't serve your kind around here. There are easy to conceive of situations where it's a life or death issue. So let's say, your house is burning down and you're a black family and the firefighters show up and go, we don't serve your kind. Is it legitimate for somebody to go, listen, it's their freedom of choice. They can, if they want to, they're assholes, but hey, they should legally be allowed to do it. I don't agree with that. I think that, the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act and all those pieces of legislation are correct. And I think anti-discrimination protections should be extended not only to include the LGBTQ community, but to include the non-religious. Because there are pockets around the U.S. that there's discrimination against atheists and non-religious people. So I think that's the proper policy. And here you get to see it in practice, what it's really like when the rubber meets the road with your philosophy. And some people will defend, this doctor and say, okay, well, another doctor stepped in and filled the role. What if that wasn't it? What if they didn't? What if that everybody at a given place was of that belief system? What about that? Then would you be cool with it? Sorry, you can't get treatment at all because nobody here is okay with gay people. They all have a moral objection. Because that's the reality in some pockets across the country. There's still deeply conservative pockets, whether Louisiana or Mississippi or what have you. And the further back you go in time, the more odious, people's ideas are in the white mainstream against any minority communities. So, no, there is a place for non-discrimination clauses. And, this is a time when they absolutely needed non-discrimination protections, especially because a 6-day-old baby, man. A 6-day-old baby. No, I don't serve your kind. It's fair to call that wrong, to morally judge it, and to be in favor of legislation that ameliorates these kinds of ills. And I think most reasonable people can see that.